Hello out there. Welcome to Wake Up to the Bible. I'm Daniel Kaplan. I'm here with my father, Dr. Kaplan, and together we're going through the books of the Bible, Genesis through Deuteronomy, over the course of this year, a little bit every day. Today we're reading Genesis 49:19 through 26, and I'll be reading from the Robert Alter translation. Gad shall be goaded by raiders, yet he shall goad their heel. Asher's bread shall be rich, and he shall bring forth kingly dishes. Naphtali, a hind let loose, who brings forth lovely fawns. A fruitful son is Joseph, a fruitful son by a spring, daughters strode by a rampart. They savaged him, shot arrows, and harassed him, the archers did. But taut was his bow, his arms ever moving through the hands of the champion of Jacob, through the name of the shepherd and Israel's rock. From the God of your fathers may he aid you, Shaddai. May he bless you, blessings of the heavens above, blessings of the deep that lies below, blessings of breasts and womb. Your fathers' blessings surpass the blessings of timeless heights, the bounty of hills everlasting. May they rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the one set apart from his brothers. And for some reason, they don't have Benjamin until tomorrow. I don't know why. I guess they want to end on Joseph. So we will talk about Benjamin tomorrow. I'm going to follow their lead. So we begin with the tribe of Gad, goaded by raiders.
I have a thought on Dan. Dan has to do with judgment, the word, Dan. And when he says, I wait for your salvation, O eternal, maybe after Dan, that's a good thing to comment on because they are still in exile and they will someday be back in the land of Israel and be, taking their place as God's nation. So it's appropriate maybe after mentioning Dan to come up with that statement as Jacob looks forward to his legacy again. Um, and then obviously you see how much of a focus there is here on Joseph as the firstborn. That he does give a lot of material benefits to those tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. So evidently their land, their part of the land of Canaan was a particularly fruitful one. Uh, it kind of reminds me of the one of the areas where Manasseh settled was the area of Bashan, or the present Golan Heights, and the land, of course, was fought over for many years and abused and decimated and then neglected, and so by the time you get to the 19th century, it's in pretty bad shape. And over time, as the Jews have returned there, they've been trying to get reforest it and get it back up to standards. But I remember when we were in the area of Manasseh, it just seemed like the grass was really thick. It seemed really fertile territory up there.
To this day. It's like it says, and it's the grass is thick to this very day, right?
The grass is greener, maybe, in
Yeah, it's like
Manasseh.
numbers, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so you have some interesting thoughts though about the different tribes here. Like Gad's goaded by raiders, yet he shall goad their heel. Um,
By the way, this is a play on words. God gedud yugudenu v'hu yagud akov.
yeah,
See, so it's if you read it in the Hebrew, it's quite a play on words. Gad of
right,
troop shall troop upon him, and he shall troop upon their heel. It's all going back to the name of Gad.
right.
That's one meaning, not the only meaning of Gad.
Uh huh. And then it says, Asher's bread shall be rich, and he shall bring forth kingly dishes. It's kind of
And that's
interesting.
also kind of a play. Asher
Mm-hmm.
means one who is blessed, one who is fortunate.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you have for 21? For it says, Robert Alter says, who brings forth lovely fawns. What do you have?
I have this is generally what the translators say. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He gives goodly words.
Yeah.
So that's a little different than what
Yeah, and this is what Alter says about it. He says the Hebrew Imre Shafer is in doubt. The translation follows one prevalent conjecture, deriving the first word from the Aramaic emir, which usually means lamb. That's where he gets it from. So there you go.
it
Apparently there's confusion.
it fits the first part
Mm-hmm.
because a hind let loose. He gives goodly words. They don't.
Mm-mm.
match, but this does. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of in poetry, especially when you come to the Bible, you know, you can you can have more than one meaning that's acceptable.
Right.
Deliberately, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, everybody does that.
Yeah,
Lyricists do it all the
right,
time
yeah,
because there's words that have
right,
multiple. I mean,
right,
speech writers, everybody does
right, yeah,
that. That's just being a good writer.
yeah,
um. So now, when you get to Joseph, it gets interesting because you have a fruitful son, and they savaged him, shot arrows, and harassed him, and all of
yeah.
this is just kind of different, right? I don't
Well, the
know.
brothers were jealous of him and they
Yeah,
sold him.
yeah, they shot arrows, and it's interesting though that to use that kind of metaphor, right? That he's using it like that.
But
It's
it also shows finally, I guess, that Jacob was aware to some degree
mm-hmm.
of what had happened. I don't know if he ever knew the whole story, but but he seems to understand that there was a jealousy there, an envy there, and a bit of hatred. But again, maybe he regrets having sent him up to there, although it all worked out for the best. But having him sending him by himself up to the brothers was not a wise move. Uh,
Now, what do you have for verse 24? Because he has, but taught was his bow.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
but his
have?
bow abode firm. See, they're trying to translate it literally, whereas Alter is trying to get the poetry of it. Alter is
Mm-hmm.
a very brilliant. He doesn't need my accolade, but he's very brilliant in the way he translates, but yet keeps the poetic value.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
he
why.
says there's some doubt about taught, and then but the context makes it a reasonable guess, and he says there's some dispute over the verb forever moving.
Well, I
Um,
say Vateshev would seem to be his abode. I would go with that. But then again, I'm not Robert Alter. He knows more than I do about that.
right.
But his bow abode firm seems a good way to translate this. Vateshev Beitan Kashto. That seems good. And then what is he saying is controversial?
Well, I mean the ever moving. You
Ever
could
moving.
Yeah, the verb represented here is ever moving. He says its likely literal meaning is to move about rapidly, to be nimble. That's where he gets
Okay,
that
we're
from.
made supple is what they say.
His arms ever moving is what he
Yeah.
has, which
Okay.
is
Is that
quite different. What'd you say? Arms
made
made.
supple? It says here.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not even using a New King James here. If I said New King James, I apologize. Right now. I actually have a bilingual Bible, a Jewish translation with a
Mm-hmm.
Hebrew text. So if I said New King James, I apologize.
Right.
That's normally what I'm reading, but in recently, last few minutes, I've not been reading New King James.
Right.
So maybe I should go back there and see what they're saying. You know,
No worries. No worries.
but here this way I have the Hebrew text in front of me too.
Yeah.
So I apologize if I said something about New King James when I was actually reading a bilingual translation.
Yep.
Uh,
And for those of you who may have thought that the blessings were getting overly masculine, you have some feminine imagery here, right? The blessings that deep that lies below, the blessings of breast and womb, because obviously a female body is associated with fertility and the procreation and the next generation and all of that. It doesn't neglect the fact that you do need two genders in order to procreate. um, it's not completely neglecting the role of women in uh, in these blessings. I just think that's interesting as well.
mm,
Number verse 25.
oh, what's interesting is
Mm-hmm.
that the word Shaddai, some people do tie it in with the word for breast.
Mm,
That has been done.
I see.
So
Like in a you know um sustenance sort of way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have tied Shaddai in with the word Shad for breast.
Yeah, that makes
Um,
sense. Yeah.
Let me just see. This is verse 25.
Yeah, so it says, "From the
Uh,
God of your fathers, may he aid you, should die. May he bless you, blessings of the heaven above, blessings deep lies below, blessings of breast and womb." Yeah, that does seem like a lot of feminine imagery there, so
yeah,
that is
because here
interesting.
it says that, okay, the eight Shaddai, vi- vi- vare- vi- varecha- vivarechecha, and who's and by the okay, I see that. Yeah, the word aid here is normally could be translated with. How does he translate it?
May he aid you from
No,
the God of your fathers. May he
may
aid you.
he
May he bless you.
no may he aid you. But then
May he aid
what
you should die. May he bless you.
he just does leaves out the preposition. There's a word here that you should deal with, and here they're translating it as by. Could mean with.
uh,
But anyway, because he mentioned Shaddai here, and at the end he says, "I'm going to give you birchot uh, uh, Shaddayim, breakfast blessings of the womb." This
yeah.
seems to be a play on words here.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it, okay.
Yeah, and again, like I said, for those of you who might get bent out of shape that everything is so masculine all the time, here you have some feminine imagery. There is a
Right,
balance, you know.
and yeah, and
Yeah,
here you have the divine
right.
in that way.
Yeah, and you had it before too with Judah. If you think about what the line of Judah means, right? So you have both the line of Judah because Jesus comes from Judah, doesn't he? Doesn't it?
What does it have to do with
With the divine? No, with the divine. I say
oh,
you have masculine connecting to the divine, and you have feminine
connected
connecting
with
to
the
the
divine,
divine.
right?
Yeah, you have it's balanced.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Because, contrary to popular belief, uh, we need two genders in order to keep the population moving. What do we have here? So, your father's blessings surpass me there. So obviously, you can see here that it is biased towards Joseph and the sons. There's a lot more going on here just in terms of length. Although Judah gets a fair amount too, but
Yeah, those are
there's
the two
those are
key,
the two ones
the
that get
two
quite a
key.
lot of content
Yeah,
here.
the birthright and the scepter.
Yeah. But we have not gotten to Benjamin yet, but we will. But before we do that, is there anything else that we want to discuss?
No, but if those of you who are listening, there's so much here. If you want to contribute comments or questions, it wouldn't hurt to go back over some of this material. As I said, Deuteronomy 33 is yet another statement, this time by Moses, about the future of the tribes. And then you have all through the Bible, the tribes figure, and right to the end,
Yep.
to the book of Revelation, they figure. So
Yep.
it's something to keep in mind as to it may be that the spiritual structure of God's kingdom will be in 12, 12 areas
or
of, of, may,
13.
may of expertise. Well, I think that if you look at the New Jerusalem, there's 12 gates.
I think there is, yeah.
Yeah, so, but it may have to do with just what your function would be in the kingdom. It may be each tribe, spiritually speaking. Now, this is talking about from a spiritual point of view, that the 12 tribes from a spiritual point of view might have some kind of function within the kingdom. Just speculation.
And if that's controversial, then comment below and let us know.
I hope that's not controversial.
Yeah, everything's controversial. Revelation, just saying that word is controversy. Somebody just got triggered. Revelation, I did it again. People get eschatology. What? It's fraught with danger. That's all I want to say. Yes. My dad, he stays off the internet and to his benefit. If only you knew, sir. If only you knew. All right, so
I do know. That's why I stay off.
I'm just a glutton for punishment. What can I say?
I let him do that.
And then I occasionally send him stuff so he can be like, "What is going on in this world?" And then he goes, and then he's Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he goes back in his cave. And then I eventually beckon him. So yes. Anyway, if you would like more, like to hear more from us, and I'm sure you would after that, and you want to know about Benjamin, we have got a great teaser for you. What's up with Benjamin? Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, call up your friends. We are reading the law together this year. It's a great year to do it. Let's do it.